Good evening. All of you. Hari, can you all turn on the videos, please? So today I had classes in the morning from 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock, and but unfortunately I got an internet connection issue around 4:15 p.m. uh, then I couldn't do the grade 6 class today in the evening. But fortunately, they sorted it out around 5:58, right? Enisa, luckily I was able to conduct your class. දේවල් වෙනවා I think හිටපු ගමන් කරන්නේ. Right. So we will start with the actually we have discussed a lot in the third unit. So today we have to discuss about valency, and you will learn how to write the chemical formula, right? How to write the chemical formula. Okay, that's very important. Hari. Yes, Sasen, Manusha, Pavani, Sayul, Sakitya. Videos on කරන්න ඕනේ හැමෝම. Sadev, Nihara, Nirosha. Yes, all the videos should be turned on. Hari. Now, so what do you mean by valency? Actually, you learned about the electronic configuration. Then you have learned about the stable electronic configurations of noble gases. Then I mentioned that most of the atoms try to obtain this stable electronic configuration by different methods. They either remove electrons or they either gain electrons to become stable, right? Sometimes when they can't do both of these, they will share electrons in common, right? They will share electrons with other elements, right? So by means of these methods, they try to become stable, right? So the valency is the number of electrons that they remove or obtain or keep in common, right? That is known as the valency. So I will give you a table mentioning the valencies of the first 20 elements, as well as there are groups of ions known as groups of charged atoms, actually known as radicals, right? You have to remember those valencies in order to write the chemical formula. මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට හරි ලේසි in grade 11, even when you are going to write a chemical equation and there are calculations associated with those equations, the molar calculations, these become possible only if you have written the correct chemical formula. හරි නේද? එනිසා this is very important. බලන්න. හරි. Okay, I think now it is. Right. Still there are 2, 4, 5, 7 of you. This one, now there are 6 students who have turned off the videos yet. Hari. So we'll define the term valency first. You can write like this. The combining ability of an atom of an element of an element is known as its valency. Is known as its valency. Next point. It is equal to the number of electrons. It is equal to the number of electrons it is equal to the number of electrons removed, gained, removed, comma, gained, or shared between the atoms during chemical combination. During chemical combination. During chemical combination. Then as the last point you can say, the atoms either gain, remove, gain, comma, remove, or share electrons, share electrons in order to obtain a stable electronic configuration, as in the noble gases, a stable electronic configuration as in the noble gases. You can write the electronic configurations of helium, neon and argon. Yes, Hasandi, Sasen, Savindu, Hiruja, Pavani, Manusha, Sadev. Turn on the videos. Right. Then we will move on to the valencies. In order to write the chemical formula, you need to know the valencies, right? So we'll draw a table. Under the topic writing chemical formula, you can draw a table mentioning the 20 elements in order, as well as we can write their valencies. So the table should contain 2 columns. Element and the valency. So you can write the 20 elements in order. Right? So the elements hydrogen, helium. Then have what a pull on it. You have, can all of you remember the first 20 elements in order? Hmm? Pull on the. Oh, memada. Hmm? We have reached the end of the lesson, right? Boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium. Right? Hari. Then balan chutak board එක දිහා. The valencies. So hydrogen, you know, the atomic number is 1, electronic configuration is 1. It needs another 1 electron to become stable. මේ ටිකත් මතකේ තියාගමු. Helium you have written. Neon, that is 28. And argon is 288. So they all these try to be stable like this. For the noble gases, we know that they don't need to become stable. They are already stable. Therefore, helium, neon, argon, they don't take part in chemical bonding. Therefore, their valency is considered to be 0. Right? Then, now, if we consider the elements in group 1, well, elements in group 1, hydrogen, then lithium, the electronic configuration is 2-1 since its atomic number is 3. So it needs, yes, it can remove this electron. It can remove this electron in order to become stable. Therefore, it also has got the valency 1. It will remove this electron. Then the number of electrons removed, gained or kept in common, shared is known as the valency. So lithium, the valency becomes 1. Then after lithium in group 1 we find sodium. Sodium, the electronic configuration is 281. So it also can remove this 1 electron to become stable like neon. Therefore, sodium also has got the valency 1. හරි නේද? එමයි මතක තියාගන්නේ. Then potassium, the electronic configuration is 2881. So it can remove this 1 electron and become stable like argon. Therefore, potassium also has got valency 1. හරිද? On a hydrogen 1, lithium 1, sodium 1 and potassium 1, the valency. Then we'll consider the group 2 elements, beryllium 2, 2. Therefore, it can remove 2 electrons and become stable. Therefore, its valency becomes 2. Then magnesium 282. So it can remove those 2 electrons and become stable like neon. Therefore, magnesium has got the valency 2. Okay. Then calcium 2882. So the 2 electrons in the outermost energy level can be removed to become stable like argon. Therefore, calcium has got valency 2. Right? Then group 3 elements. Group 3 elements may part of sorry. Boron. The electronic configuration is 2-3. 2-3 කියලා කියන්නේ the atomic number is 5 now. So it can either keep these 3 electrons in common, or it can remove these 3 electrons and become stable. Therefore, its valency is 3. Then when it comes to aluminium, that is 283. So aluminium also can remove those 2 electrons, these 3 electrons, or keep these 3 electrons in common. Therefore, aluminium also get the valency 3. Right? Aluminium valency 3. Right? Then if we consider carbon, group 4, its electronic configuration is 2,4. Therefore, most probably carbon share those 4 electrons. හරිද? තව 4 දෙනෙකුට කතා කරලා ඒ 4 දෙනාගේ electrons එක එක ඉල්ල ගන්නවා carbon. Carbon asks for another 1 electron from each 4 atoms, right? And share electrons. Therefore, the valency of carbon becomes 4. So you can see there is a relationship with the group number as well, right? Group 1 valency 1, group 2 valency 2, group 3 valency 3, group 4 valency 4, right? ඊළඟට silicon, the electronic configuration 284. Once again, silicon most probably share those 4 electrons to complete the electron octet, 8 electrons. So silicon also get the valency 4. Carbon and silicon both are in group 4, right? Then when it comes to nitrogen, nitrogen, okay, the way electronic configuration is 2,5. Therefore, nitrogen can remove all these 5 electrons, or else, yes, nitrogen most probably, rather than removing those 5 electrons, then methane remove karanna lazy up to 3. It is easy to remove. When it comes to 4, they share electrons. When it comes to 5, it is easy to gain 3 electrons. Pahak ayin karnawata wada electrons තුනක් ගන්න එක lazy, right? So they gain 3 electrons and nitrogen obtains the valency 3. When it comes to phosphorus, the electronic configuration is 285. එතකොට ටිකක් ඈතයි nitrogen ට වඩා නේද? Then there is one more energy level when compared to nitrogen. Therefore, sometimes since the attraction to the nucleus is less, this phosphorus can have valency 5 by removing all the 5 electrons. So, it also can gain 3 electrons. Therefore, phosphorus gets 2 valencies, either 3 or 5. It depends. හරිද? එතකොට දැන් අපි PCl5 කියලා compound එකක් ගැන කතා කරනවා in a coming lesson when we are discussing about chemical bonds. Yeah, it has made 5 bonds, right, by keeping 5 electrons in common. So now phosphorus has got 2 valencies. Then when it comes to oxygen, what happens? When it comes to oxygen, it is 2,6. So it can gain 2 electrons. Therefore, the valency becomes 2. Then sulfur is also in the same group, that is 286. Sulfur also can gain 2 electrons and remove all the 6 electrons. Therefore, sulfur has got 2 valencies, 2 and 6. Then fluorine, the electronic configuration is 2,7. Therefore, it is easy for fluorine to gain 1 electron. Therefore, fluorine, group 7 elements get the valency 1. It is easy to gain 1 electron. Even chlorine, that is 287, chlorine can also get 1 electron or remove all the 7 electrons. But most probably chlorine gets the valency 1. අපි valency 1 කියලාම තමයි chlorine වලට ගන්න. It can easily gain 1 electron. Right? Now when it comes to sulfur, most probably it is 2. Then when it comes to phosphorus, actually it can exhibit both. අපි PCl5 ගැන කියනකොට නම් it is 5. The valency is 5. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ගොඩාක් දේවල් එන්නේ නැහැ. මේ ටික දැනගත්තාම හොඳටම ඇති. හරි. Now we will write the chemical formula by using these first 20 elements. Right? The chemical combinations occur in between the atoms of elements during the chemical bonding. Right? They combine with each other. Therefore, we have to write the chemical formula. Okay? Hari. So, I will give you certain chemical compounds, names of chemical compounds. So, then we learn how to write the chemical formula. Have you finished the table? Yes? And තාම ඉන්නවා 7 දෙනෙක් who have turned off the videos. Why doesn't nitrogen have 2 valencies even though it can remove 5 and 3? නෑ. දැන් මෙහෙමනේ. Then when it comes to nitrogen, the electronic configuration is 2,5. Therefore, it has only 2 energy levels, right? It is something like that. These 2 electrons in the innermost energy level, 5 electrons in the outermost energy level, right? But when it comes to phosphorus, it is 285. 285. There are 3 energy levels there. 1, 2, 3. Right? Therefore, the distance in between our electronegativity waladit kiwe, even in the first ionization energy we mentioned, the distance from the nucleus to the outermost energy level is greater here. Therefore, the attractive power from the nucleus to the electrons in the outermost energy level is less when compared to nitrogen. Therefore, phosphorus can remove even all the 5 electrons. It is difficult for nitrogen. For nitrogen, the attractive power is more. Therefore, it can gain 3 electrons. For phosphorus, it can gain either 3 electrons or it can remove all the 5 electrons. That depends. එකයි දැන් බලන්න මේ nitrogen 3, phosphorus 3, 5 both. Oxygen 2, then sulfur 2 and 6 both. And that is because of the difference in the number of energy levels. Did you get that? Energy levels වැඩි වෙනකොට අර attraction එක අඩු නිසා යාට ඕනනම් it can remove all the electrons in the outermost energy level. Okay? Or it can gain electrons in order to obtain a stable electronic configuration like this. හරි නේද? Okay. Finished? Shall we write the chemical formula then? So you can attach a paper. So this is the end of part 1 in the tube that I have shared. Therefore, you can attach another 1 or 2 papers to write the chemical formula, right? Hari. Sodium chloride. Then මෙතනින් මම දෙන්නම් magnesium oxide. Magnesium chloride දෙන්නම් ඉස්සෙල්ලා. Magnesium chloride. So first 2 I will do for you. I will teach. Right, when we are writing the chemical formula, first of all, we have to identify the component elements. When we say sodium chloride, what are the component elements? Yes. Sodium and chlorine, yes. Sodium and chlorine. Then we have to write the valencies. In the next step, we have to write the valencies. The valency of sodium is, yes, sodium belongs to group 1. Therefore, it can remove 1 electron. Its valency is 1. Chlorine 287. It is easy to gain 1 electron for chlorine. Therefore, its valency is 1. Then when we are writing the formula, we exchange the valencies. Right? The valency of chlorine is given to sodium. Valency of sodium is given to chlorine. Then මෙතන දෙන්නම 1 නේ. Therefore, Na1Cl1. We don't write 1. When it is 1, we don't write. Therefore, you can come up with the formula NaCl. Sodium chloride is the formula of NaCl is the formula of sodium chloride. Right? හරිනේ. ඔන්න ඊළඟ එකත් බලමු. Magnesium chloride. But the component elements are magnesium and chlorine. The valencies. Magnesium belongs to group 2. It has 2 electrons in the outermost energy level. Therefore, its valency is 2. Chlorine has got valency 1. Therefore, you can exchange the valencies. On the name කියවෙන කෙනා තමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලා ලියන්නේ. We have to write the element which is mentioned in the name first. Magnesium. Therefore, the valency of chlorine is given to magnesium. Since it is 1, we don't need to write magnesium. Then this 2 goes to chlorine. So it is Cl2. Therefore, MgCl2 is the formula of magnesium chloride. Did you get that? MgCl2. හරිනේ? There are some other instances in which then දෙකම 2 2 આવොත් you can get the simplest ratio 2:2 කියලා කියන්නේ ඇත්තට මෙතන වෙන්නේ the combining power කියලා කිව්වනේ the valency is the combining power of an atom of an element. Therefore, actually to neutralize this, in order to not to get a charge, in order to be neutral, they become like this. Then, for example, chlorine forms chloride ions. මේක තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් කමක් නැහැ. නිකමට මම කියලා දෙන්නේ. Chloride ion. Magnesium can remove 2 electrons and form Mg2+. එතකොට this MgCl2, magnesium chloride as a molecule, it is neutral. එහෙනම් මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? magnesium එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නකොට there should be plus 2 ne. So for this to be minus 2, there should be 2 chloride ions. එනිසා තමයි මේක MgCl2 කියලා අපි ලියන්නේ. හරිද? Combining power to become neutral because a molecule does not have a charge. ඒක තමයි අපි මේ කරන්නේ මාරු කරලා. But this is the way that we have to write. Hariද? MgCl2. දැන් හිතන්න if you get the ratio as 2:2 මෙතන දෙන්නම 2:2 කියලා ආවනම් you can obtain the simplest ratio as 1:1. එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි examples ගන්නකොට බලමු. Now I will give you certain examples so you can try. Then I will discuss. හරිද? Number 3. Yes, you can try. Videos on off කරගෙන ඉන්න අයගේ parents ලාට මට කියන්න message එකක් දාන්න කියලා. All of you. The parents should send a message. මේක හැමදාම කියනවා දෙන්නෙක් විතර ඉන්න හැමදාම නම කියන්න ඕනේ. කවදාවත් on කරන්නේ නැහැ වීඩියෝ එක. Yes, Sasen, Sadev, Manusha, Pavani, Savindu, කවුද? Tenupa, Nihara, Pranudi, ask your parents to send me a message mentioning the reason why you have kept the videos off. Yes. Yes, most commonly chlorine uses this valency 1, right? In most of the cases we find valency 1 for chlorine. That is why I have circled, so you can use 1 for that. Yes, Hasandi, did you turn off the video now? And Mansandi? Just finished? We have to write some more. Hari. Balmudar. Sodium oxide. Anna balanna. Sodium oxide. Sodium and oxygen. Right? Sodium, the valency is 1. Oxygen, the valency is 2. We exchange. This 2 goes to sodium, that is Na2. 1 goes to oxygen, O. Na2O is the formula of sodium oxide. Harida, if you have any problem, you have to ask, right? Then calcium chloride. Calcium and chlorine. Calcium, the valency is 2. Chlorine, the valency is 1. Exchange. calcium, we don't write number 1. 2 goes to chlorine. Therefore, it becomes CaCl2. CaCl2. Right? Then aluminium chloride. Aluminium and chlorine. Aluminium, the valency is 3. Chlorine, the valency is 1. Exchange. Aluminium and 3 goes to chlorine, Cl3. When we are writing, these two are close to each other. When I wrote the component elements, I wrote them separately. But when we are writing the formula, these are close by, right? AlCl3. Magnesium oxide. Magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium valency 2, oxygen valency 2. Both have valency 2. So we can obtain the simplest ratio. That is 1:1. Therefore, once we exchange the valencies, it becomes MgO. Since both have number 1. MgO. Right? Hands up those who got all 4 correct. Okay, good. Then another. 14 of you have got all correct. Right. අනිත් අය එකක් දෙකක් වැරදුනා නම් දැන් හදාගන්න අපි තව ටිකක් ලියමු. හරි. Shall I erase the things? Yes. Erase කරන්න. හරිනේ? We have written all together 6. Then number 7. Yes. Methane or methane, methane. They are now in all these up to the 12th one, the name indicates what are the component elements. That there are certain chemical compounds in which the name does not indicate the component elements. Therefore, I have given the elements here. Yes, please keep your videos on and do the work how to learn this at the same moment. Yes, finished. Shall we discuss? Hands up those who are still writing. Then disappear when bad. හරි ඔක්කොම ඉවරයි නෑ තාම ඉන්නව නේද ලියන අය දැන් ඇති නේද? හරි දැන් ඇති බලමු. Beryllium oxide. The component elements are beryllium and oxygen. Beryllium has valency 2. Oxygen also has valency 2. Therefore, the simplest ratio is 1:1. Therefore, we can write the formula as BeO. Right? Simple capital, you have to write properly. You know this because when we are writing the symbol of an element, we know how to write it. Beryllium oxide. Then calcium oxide, calcium and oxygen both have valency 2. Simplest ratio is 1:1. Therefore, it becomes CaO. CaO. Harine? Then magnesium nitride, magnesium and nitrogen. Magnesium has valency 2. Nitrogen has valency 3. Exchange Mg3 N2. Mg3N2 is the formula of magnesium nitride. Hari neda? Aluminium oxide. Aluminium and oxygen. Aluminium the valency is 3. Oxygen the valency is 2. So this 2 goes to aluminium, Al2O3. Al2O3 is the formula of aluminium oxide. Al2O3. Lithium chloride, lithium and chlorine valencies are 1 and 1. So it becomes LiCl, right? Okay, Sadev. Lithium oxide, lithium and oxygen. Lithium the valency is 1, oxygen the valency is 2. Once you exchange the valency, that is Li2O, lithium oxide. Li2O. Yes, turn on the videos. Methane or methane, carbon and hydrogen. Carbon the valency is 4, hydrogen the valency is 1. Therefore, it becomes CH4. You know that already, but this is how it is formed. CH4. Right? Water, egat danna. Hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen the valency is 1, oxygen the valency is 2. So exchange H2O, right? Then ammonia. Ammonia. nitrogen and hydrogen. Nitrogen valency 1. Sorry, nitrogen valency 1. Maybe 3. Nitrogen valency 3. Hydrogen valency 1. Then it is NH3, ammonia, NH3. Okay, NH3. So, බලන්න ඔක්කොම හරි අය. Here 3, 6, 9. 9 are there. Hands up those who got all these 9 correct. Hari. Okay, very good. 18, 19 of you are there. Those who have got all correct. Well done. Then pull on it. 2 mistakes. Okay, Ranudi, you can get them corrected. Hari. This is all about the chemical formula related to the first 20 elements. Then on අපි තව චුට්ටක් advance කරනවා. We are moving on to the polyatomic ions or the radicals. Right? Polyatomic. Poly means many, many atoms with a charge. A group of atoms with a charge is known as a radical. Right? Group of atoms with a charge. Shall I erase this? ඉවරයි නේ? ඉස්කෝලේදී ලියනකොට හොඳට ප්‍රැක්ටිස් වෙලා තමයි ඔයාලා යන්නේ. Orderly arranged. Group of atoms with a charge. Right? These are known as polyatomic ions or radicals. So we'll draw a table. So we will first mention the ones with valency 1. Right? Valency is 1 in those radicals. Hydronium ion, that is H3O plus. So you have to remember the valency as well as the formula of the radical, right? Then ammonium. Ammonium. Isalalu ammonia, right? Here it is ammonium ion, NH4 plus. Plus කියලා දාන්න plus 1 කියන එක තමයි. අපි 1 ලියන්නේ නැහැ සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. Then we can say nitrate. Hydroxyl is ඊට කලින් hydroxyl or hydroxide කියලා කියනවා. Hydroxyl ion නැත්නම් hydroxide, that is OH minus. OH minus 1. Then we can say nitrate. NO3 minus. Then we can mention bicarbonate. Bicarbonate, නැත්නම් we call it as hydrogen carbonate or hydrogen carbonate. Carbonate. That is HCO3 minus. Then we can mention bisulfate or hydrogen sulfate. Bisulfate or hydrogen sulfate. Sulfate කියන මට ලියවෙන්නේ pH කියලා. දැන් F පාවිච්චි කරනවා, right? That is HSO4 minus. Then you know permanganate, potassium permanganate. Permanganate. That is MnO4 minus. ඔන්න ඔය ටික ඔය විදිහටම මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ radicals, right? Once you remember, it would be very easy for you to write the chemical formula. Otherwise, actually, you can't. හරිද? Then we'll consider දැන් බය වෙලා තින්නේ. For valency 2 and 3, there are not that much of radicals, right? Valency 2, you have carbonate, sulfate, chromate, dichromate, only 4. For valency 3, you have only 1. හරිද? ඇති අන්තං නේද? Yes, Manushika. Actually, you have to you have to remember this. There are only two positive ones, hydronium ion and the ammonium ion. That's all. So you have to remember these two. All the others have negative charges, right? Actually, when we are writing the valency, we don't need to consider the charge. But when we are writing the ion, we have to consider the charge. Valency 2, the ones with valency 2, there are only 4 ones having valency 2, right? Carbonate, CO3, 2 minus. Sulfate, SO4, 2 minus. 2 minus කියන එක අපි minus කියන එක ඉස්සරහින් දාන්න සාමාන්‍ය ලියන ඉස්සරින් දැම්මත් වැරද්දක් නැහැ, but normally we write it like this, 2 minus, rather than writing it as minus 2. Then chromate, CrO4, 2 minus. CrO4, 2 minus. Then dichromate, Cr2O7, 2 minus. Then you can continue the table with the ones having valency 3. There is only one. Therefore, I will write it like this. You can continue the table, right? The one which is having valency 3, that is phosphate ion. That is PO4, 3 minus. Phosphate ion. That's all for valency 3. Please turn on your videos. Now we are moving on to writing chemical formula based on these radicals. මේක හරි වැදගත් මොකද because if you make any mistake in writing the chemical formula, the calculations you do as well as the equations, all these will go wrong. So this is very important. Hari. Then I will give you certain chemical compounds, names of chemical compounds. So you have to write the chemical formula. I will teach how to do this. Hari. We are moving on. So you have to write the chemical formula of the following. Two. So මෙතෙන්දී you have to thoroughly remember that we can't change the formula of the radical, right? If both components are having the same valency, you can have the simplest ratio. That's okay, but you can't change the formula of the radical. මේකෙත් 4 තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් මම radical එක වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. You can't change the formula of the radical. Keep that in mind. Hari. I will tell you how to do sodium hydroxide. The components are sodium and hydroxyl ion, OH minus. So when we are writing the components, we can write it along with the charge. But when we are writing the formula, you know, in a chemical compound, there is no any charge. On sodium makes +1 ion. Hydroxide means OH minus. So we don't need to consider the charge here when we are writing the formula. Sodium, the valency is 1. Hydroxyl, the valency is 1. Since both are having valency 1, we can write it as NaOH. NaOH. Right? Then I will write calcium carbonate. Calcium and carbonate. CO3 2 minus. Right? Calcium valency 2. Carbonate also valency 2. The simplest ratio is 1:1. Therefore, you can write it as CaCO3, calcium carbonate. දැන් අපි බලමු sodium carbonate බලා ගන්න. I will give you time to write sodium and carbonate. CO3 2 minus. So sodium the valency is 1, carbonate the valency is 2. So once you exchange, sodium gets 2 Na2 CO3 Na2 CO3 හරිද Na2 CO3 ඔන්න මෙයා තව ටිකක් වෙනස් ඒක නිසා එයාවත් කියන්න වෙනවා right aluminium and sulfate SO4 2 minus aluminium valency 3 sulfate valency 2 so this 2 belongs to aluminium Al2 දැන් මොකද කරන්නේ this 3 belongs to the sulfate radical whole radical ඔක්කොටම අයිති ඒ නිසා අපි මොකද කරන්නේ we have to put a bracket and write SO4 inside SO4 ඇතුළට දාලා since this 3 belongs to the whole radical we put number 3 out of the bracket එතකොට අපි මේක කියවනවා Al2 SO4 thrice නැත්නම් 3 කියලා කිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ Al2 SO4 thrice තේරුණාද ඔක්කොම මුළු රැඩිකල් එකටම නම්බර් එකක් එළිය එනවනම් we have to put a bracket and out of the bracket we have to write the number හරිනේ බලමු break එකක් දුන්නෙත් නැහැ තියාගෙන යන්න ඕන නම් break එකක් අරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා ලියන්න පටන් ගන්න 1 2 3 දාලා මෙතන ආයි number 2 දාලා නේද we'll make it as 4 yes which one all 4 third means aluminium sulfate right hari aluminium and sulfate are the components so once we write the valencies here it is 3 here it is 2 right once you exchange the valencies this 2 belongs to aluminium Al2 now here there is a radical and this 3 belongs to the whole radical එතකොට අපි the sulfur 3 දාන්නත් බෑ oxygen 3 දාන්නත් බෑ it belongs to the whole radical therefore we put a bracket and inside the bracket we write the radical without the charge SO4 then since this 3 belongs to the whole radical we put number 3 out of the bracket Al2 SO4 thrice දැන් හරිද right try the others then if you want you can have a little break and come back quickly after drinking some water yes we can simplify the ratio මේ මෙතන මම කළේ when both are having the same you can simplify it නැත්නම් 2 4 આવොත් you can simplify it as 1:2 එහෙම පුළුවන් but you can't change the formula එක දැන් හිතන්නකො දැන් මෙතන කාට හරි හිතුණ 2 4 තියෙනවා ඒ නිසා මම මෙයා 1 and 2 කියලා කරනවා කියලා AlSO2 එහෙම you can't change the radical that's what I mentioned radical එක කීයටවත් වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ ඔයාලට okay Yes. Hari, if you have got the break and come back, yes, turn on the videos. Hari, Balamuda. Did you write? Yes, potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate. Potassium and nitrate, NO3 minus. Right? The valencies are 1 each. Therefore, it becomes KNO3. KNO3. Potassium sulfate. Potassium and sulfate, SO4 2 minus. 1 and 2. So it becomes K2 and 1 belongs to sulfate. Since it is 1, we don't need to write K2SO4. K2SO4. Please turn on the videos. Then aluminium nitrate. Aluminium and nitrate. NO3 minus. Aluminium valency 3. Nitrate valency 1. Yes, Hasandi, Sayul, Pavani, Netmira, Sasen, Tisas, Shamod. Right. So this 1 belongs to aluminium. Right. Then this 3 belongs to nitrate. Therefore, you have to put a bracket and put nitrate inside. And out of the bracket, you have to put number 3. ALNO3 thrice. ALNO3 thrice. Okay, Chamod. Yes, Adev. Magnesium sulfate. Magnesium and sulfate, SO4 2 minus. Magnesium valency 2. Sulfate also the valency is 2. So since both are having valency 2, you can have the simplest ratio as 1:1. Therefore, you can write the formula as MgSO4. MgSO4. Hari neda? Ranushi? Inuli? Done. Then potassium hydroxide, potassium and hydroxyl ion, OH minus, both are having valency 1. Therefore, the formula is KOH. Hari neda? Then I will give you some more. Number 10 here. Hari. Shall we check? Hands up those who are still writing. Okay, I will give you another 2 minutes. Hari. Balamu. Balamu ne ivarai. Athine. Number 10. Then පුළුවන් නේද? Potassium carbonate. Potassium. Potassium carbonate. Right? Potassium and carbonate. CO3 2 minus. Valency 1 and 2. Once you exchange, you can write it as K2CO3. K2CO3. Potassium carbonate. Right? Ammonium phosphate. They both are radicals there. Ammonium NH4 plus, phosphate PO4 3 minus. So this is valency 1, this is valency 3. So once you exchange, this 3 belongs to ammonium. There you have to put a bracket for ammonium, NH4 within brackets. Out of the brackets, you have to put number 3, NH4 thrice, then PO4, NH4 thrice, PO4. So බලන්න එහෙම ලියපු අය. NH4 thrice, PO4. Very good. හරි. දැන් අල්ලගෙන තියෙන method එක. Potassium permanganate. Potassium and permanganate, MnO4 minus. Both are having valency 1. Therefore, it becomes KMnO4. KMnO4. Potassium permanganate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate. HCO3 minus. Here valency 2, here valency 1. Therefore, Ca. This 2 belongs to hydrogen carbonate radical. Therefore, put a bracket. Out of the bracket, you can put number 3. Ca. HCO3 twice. Ca. HCO3 twice. Potassium chromate. Potassium and chromate. CrO4 2 minus. Potassium valency 1, chromate valency 2. So it becomes K2, then CrO4. K2CrO4. හරි නේද? Potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate Cr2O7 2 minus. Potassium 1 dichromate 2. Therefore, it becomes K2, then Cr2O7. K2Cr2O7. හරි නේද දේශිකා? Then calcium phosphate. Calcium and phosphate PO4 3 minus. Calcium 2 phosphate 3. Therefore, it becomes Ca3. Then within brackets PO4. Out of the bracket, you have to put 2. Ca3PO4 twice. Ca3PO4 twice. Calcium phosphate. Then magnesium carbonate. Mg. Here CO3 2 minus. Both are having valency 2. The simplest ratio is 1:1. Therefore, you can write it as MgCO3. MgCO3. Last one, ammonium sulfate. Once again, both are radicals. So, ammonium, NH4 plus. Sulfate, it is SO4 2 minus. Here, this is 1, this is 2. Therefore, this 2 belongs to ammonium. From a pattern within brackets, you put ammonium, NH4, out of the bracket 2, NH4 twice, then SO4. NH4 twice SO4. Then the pena the positive one is written first. Positive ion is written first. Always. NH4 twice SO4. So we have written all 18. Hands up those who got all 18 correct. I know, very good. 17. Right. 16. Hari. Then puluang ne the hamotama. If you have made 3 or 4 mistakes, it's okay. Now you know the method, right? Once you know the method and once you can remember the radicals by next week, you can manage. Once you know the method, you can write them easily. Hari. Mahansida, prashna තියනවාද මොකුත් අහන්න. Then I will give a different question now. You have written 18. 19 and 20 I will give you like this. Okay, try that. of the phosphate of element X as you got? Yes, any volunteer? Yes. What is the chemical formula of the phosphate of element X? What did you get? Kian Balan? Kian, the formula that you got. Kaurut Kian. Yes. Akitya has sent X3PO4 twice. Any other answer? Yes, Siruja. Chemical formula of the nitrate of element X is XNO3 twice, they say. Right? When we are writing a chemical formula, you know that we exchange the valencies, right? We exchange the valencies. So, nitrate of element X is obtained as XNO3 twice, no, as they say. So, nitrate, the valency is 1. We don't know the valency of X, but they say the formula of the nitrate is XNO3 twice. You know, this 2 comes to nitrate because of X. Therefore, valency of X is here. The valency of X equals 2. Since we know, since we don't know about the element X, here we found the valency of element X as 2. Right, that is why here this became XNO3 twice. And then easily you can write the formula of the phosphate of element X. XPO4. 3 minus X, the valency is 2, and here it is 3. So once you exchange, it becomes X3. Then here it is PO4 twice. X3 PO4 twice. Hands up those who got like this. X3 PO4 twice. Okay, well done. ඔයගේ ප්‍රශ්න අහලා තියෙනවා. For MCQs. හරි, I will give another one. විනාඩියෙන් ගන්න ආන්සර් එක. Yes? What's the answer? Dasini, what's your answer? Pahani says ZNO3. Yes, Dasini? Okay. Energy, just check it once again. It should be NO3, right? Hari, Balamu. Then I will give you a question on the second unit as well, since I told you we have some more calculations based on the second unit. We have finished the lesson. I can't take it back. Sorry. So I wrote, as I can remember, the formula of the sulfate, the Mamli way. Yes, can someone read the question, please? Accidentally I erased.
The formula of the sulfate of element is Z4. Write the chemical formula of the nitrate.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Pahani. So it says ZSO4, Z and sulfate, SO4 2 minus. Therefore, we know the valency here is 2. We don't know the valency of Z. But since the formula of the sulfate is given as ZSO4, the simplest ratio in between these two is 1:1. That is why none of them have got a number. So if this is 2, Z should also be 2. Right? Therefore, you can write valency of Z equals 2. Therefore, you are supposed to write the formula of the nitrate of Z. Here this is 2, this is 1. Therefore, once you exchange, it becomes Z. And this 2 belongs the nitrate radical. Inside the bracket nitrate, out of the bracket 2. ZNO3 twice. Hands up those who got the answer. ZNO3 twice. Hari. Okay, good. So, you can practice those, right? You can take a sheet of paper and you can write down the names. දැන් අපි මුලින් ලිව්වා මං හිතන්නේ here we wrote 20 and before that for the first 20 elements we wrote 15 like. So altogether 35. You can write all these 35 names once again and write the chemical formula alone after studying, after remembering the valencies. අයි තනියම ලියන්න. ලියලා practice කරන්න then you have got a great achievement there, because if you go wrong when you are writing the formula, you will go wrong in writing the chemical equations as well. Then the calculations will also go wrong. So this is super important to learn how to write the chemical formula accurately. හරි නේද? ඔක practice කරන්න. එතකොට එතනින් part 1 of the third unit is over. Then we have to discuss about the chemical and physical properties as well as uses of certain elements. අපි ඒක ඊළඟ week එකේ කරමු. දැන් මම I will share a question on the second unit, right? We have finished all the theory parts in the second unit. We can do some calculations, some more calculations. Right. Now I will share those. Share means I will write the question on the board.